Dear students, I am Munaf, one of the faculties at Pramana PU College in the chemistry department. Along with me, there are others also whose introduction you have already seen in the bridge course classes. Along with them, I too deal with chemistry here. Let me introduce myself briefly. I have done my undergraduation from LVD College Raichur and my post graduation is from University of Mysore in 2011. I have 10 years experience in this field and presently I am working in Pramana PU College since the last 10 years. So this is my 10th year running. With this brief introduction, I hope it will be sufficient, and if it is your introduction, we shall see when you are before us in the physical presence in the offline classes. Having said that, you must be knowing that chemistry is one of the branches of science. You are aware that one of our sirs, Baswaraj Pallet sir, has already told you what chemistry is, what its different branches are, like organic, inorganic, physical and biochemistry. I shall not classify the branches of chemistry as it is already done, and you should also have seen one more video of Rupa madam who also deals with chemistry, wherein she has taught you some basics about inorganic chemistry. In this year, in the first year syllabus, there are 14 chapters which are categorized into physical, inorganic and organic parts. See the list. The first chapter is some basic concepts of chemistry. Second, structure of atom. Third, classification of elements and periodic properties. Then fourth chapter, chemical bonding and molecular structure. Fifth chapter, states of matter. Under that you will study only gases and liquids. Sixth chapter, thermodynamics. Seventh, equilibrium. Eighth, redox reactions. Ninth, hydrogen. 10th, S block elements. 11th, some P block elements. 12th, organic chemistry, some basic principles and techniques. 13th, hydrocarbons, and 14th, environmental chemistry. Of these 14 chapters, wherever P is written, that part belongs to physical chemistry. I stands for inorganic chemistry and O stands for organic chemistry. Now, there are some chapters from this syllabus that you are already aware in your school classes. You have already studied them. Like, say the first chapter, some basic concepts of chemistry, under which you will study about matter, laws of matter, atoms, etc., and theories of matter. Then structure of atom, you should be aware what atom is, atoms parts like electrons, protons, neutrons, nucleus, different models of atoms proposed by different scientists. So you are aware of some parts. Then the third part, classification of elements and periodicity in properties. You have studied this chapter also in the name periodic table. Kannada medium students will know this chapter as Avartaka Koshtaka. So there are others also like chemical bonding. Chemical bonding means Rasayanika Bandha. Bandha is a bond. Then states of matter means you should be only knowing the three states of matter are there: solids, liquids and gases. Ghana, Drava, Mattu Anila. This year you will study liquids and gases. In the second year you will study solids. Then thermodynamics, you may or may not be knowing. Equilibrium, redox reactions. There are some chapters from inorganic which you are already aware, like writing electronic configuration, finding out oxidation state, etc. Then we have organic chemistry chapters. Now before we begin syllabus, you need to know that chemistry is not as tough as you imagine. It becomes easier once your basics are good. To understand chemistry, you need to have a sound knowledge of all the basic things that you have studied in school, and you are not supposed to forget them. The same holds true when I say that whatever you study in your first year, that will be continued for second year also. So if you are of the mentality that I will study only before the exams, it will not work out here. You need to practice daily, you need to remember things daily. For this reason, chemistry is a subject wherein you need to put in daily efforts. You need to put in daily efforts. You need to work hard. You need to study regularly. Otherwise, chemistry is a volatile subject. Harogutte. It easily vaporizes. It easily flies away if it is not caught hold of. If you don't hold it firmly, chemistry can be forgettable. So for that reason, you need to be very thorough when you study chemistry. I will not begin the syllabus so soon, but rather I would feel that you need to be brushed up with some of the topics that you have studied in schools. Like, I shall be handling the organic chemistry part for your first year syllabus. There are only 3 chapters from organic chemistry, some basic principles and techniques, then hydrocarbons and environmental chemistry. Rest of the portion will be dealt by other lecturers. Before I begin organic chemistry, I need to know how many elements are there in the periodic table. ಆವರ್ತಕ ಕೋಷ್ಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ? You will say there are 118 elements. True. There are 118 elements as seen in the periodic table. In addition, if I am not wrong, maybe 2 years ago, one more element was discovered whose name is not yet identified, but its presence is known. That element's number is 119. What is this number? We call this number as atomic number, isn't it? So every element in the periodic table is given a number. That number is called atomic number. It is called atomic number. Sankhya. Then we have atomic mass. You call that as Paramanu Rashi. Atomic number is Paramanu Sankhya. So the number of elements in the periodic table are 118. One more element is recently added, which is 119th element, whose name is not known. Until and unless the name of this element is known, we will call this element as Ananennium or Eka-francium. It is now known as Eka-francium. So time being, you remember that there are 119 elements, of which 118 are fixed in the periodic table. The last element, 119th element's existence is known, but it is not yet officially inserted into the periodic table. Now out of all these elements, there is one element which stands out, which gets separated, and that is the 6th element of periodic table called carbon. Carbon is the only element for which a separate branch is done, and that branch is organic chemistry. Now let us see why carbon is so special. I hope you are aware of this periodic table. If you feel that this periodic table is not properly visible in the video, you have one periodic table in your school books. Please follow that table, or else you can buy it from any neighboring bookstalls for 2 to 5 rupees also. Now, in this periodic table, beginning from hydrogen till here 118, Ananoctium, there are 118 elements. I did say there is one more element, 119th, which is not yet given in the periodic table. So out of all these 118 elements, there is this element carbon, which is separated and studied differently. Why is it studied separately? Carbon. Why carbon is studied separately? It is because carbon has got some special characters. We say unique characters which are not possessed by other elements of the periodic table. ಆವರ್ತಕ ಕೋಷ್ಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ 118 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಒಂದೇ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಂಗಾಲ, ಇದು ಒಂದೇ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅದರದ್ದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್, ಅದರದ್ದು ಗುಣಗಳು ಬೇರೆಯೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಿರುತ್ತೆಪ್ಪ ಬೇರೆ? ದೆನ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿ ಈಸ್. ವ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿ we define that as the bonding ability of an element. It is the bonding capacity of an element. ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂಧ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅದು ಅದರದ್ದು ವ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿ. ಲೈಕ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಇನ್ ಎನಿ ಕೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಬಾಂಡ್. Likewise, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, they are known to form two bonds. So their valency is 2. Hydrogen valency is 1. Similarly, if you go on calculating, carbon's valency will be 4. Means carbon is known to form 4 bonds. Carbon ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂಧ? 4 ಬಂಧಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. So carbon is tetravalent. Tetra ಅಂದರೆ 4. It can form 4 bonds. Carbon is tetravalent. This property of carbon makes it special. This is one property, that its ability to form 4 bonds. There is another property we say catenation. ಕನ್ನಡದವರು ಇದನ್ನು ಕೆಟನೀಕರಣ ಎಂದು ಕರೆಯುತ್ತಾರೆ. What is catenation? It is self-linking ability of an atom. You take one carbon, it binds with another carbon, that binds with another carbon, it binds with another carbon. So each carbon can bind with 4 carbons, and that carbon will again bind with 4 other carbons. As a result, the self-linking ability, because of the self-linking ability of carbon, a number of carbon compounds can be formed. In the nature, you will be able to see innumerable number of carbon compounds whose study became difficult when it was included along with these elements. How do we study each element? How do we study the properties of elements? We study the properties of elements based on their compounds. ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅದರದ್ದು ಸಂಯುಕ್ತ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ ಅದರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಅದರದ್ದು ಗುಣಗಳನ್ನು ಓದುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಈಗ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟಿಂದು ಒಂದು 100 ಗುಣಗಳಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಆ ಥರ if we keep on studying that, if we assume that one element has got 100 properties, then if there are 118 elements, imagine how many properties there would be. I did roughly tell you there are 100 properties. There are number of chemical reactions each element will undergo. If you study that also, carbon alone will have millions of properties. It has millions of compounds. It behaves enormously, it behaves differently with different elements, and it forms a number of compounds unaccounted for. For this reason, when all the elements properties are kept one side, when all the compounds of all the elements are kept on one side, and carbon alone, its compounds are kept on one side, the weightage of carbon becomes higher. Its compounds are maximum. Its compounds are uncountable. ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಏನೇನು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ, ಏನೇನು ಪ್ರತಿಕ್ರಿಯೆ ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೋ, ಏನೇನು ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗೋಗುತ್ತೋ ಅಂಥವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಬನಿನ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಇಟ್ಟು, ಬೇರೆ 117 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ನ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಇಟ್ಟು, ಅಥವಾ 118 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ನ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಇಟ್ಟು ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನಿಂದು ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೀಸನ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಕೆನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ with other elements properties, because it becomes very tedious, very difficult. For this reason, carbon alone is removed from the periodic table and made into a separate branch called as organic chemistry. Basically, what is chemistry? Chemistry means, you say study of chemicals, fine, that is also true. Some say study of reactions, that is also true. Then exactly what chemistry is? Chemistry can also be called, it is the study of attraction between two things. Yes, it is also true. Chemistry stands for, it is the study involving the structure of atom, composition atom. Atom ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವೇನಂತೀರ ಅದನ್ನು ಅಣು ಅಥವಾ ಪರಮಾಣು ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೋದು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಹೇಗಿದೆ, ಒಂದು ಆಟಮ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆಟಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕೂಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನೇನು ಬೇಕು, ಅವೆರಡು ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನೇನು ಬೇಕು, ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು? ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಥವಾ ರಸಾಯನಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಓದುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟಡಿ, ಈಸ್ ಎ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ವೇರ್ ಇನ್ constitution of atoms, composition of atoms, and chemical reactions of atoms, structural reorganization of atoms, all of these are studied. Cut short, chemistry can also be said it is the study of energy and matter. Where there is matter, energy is present, and where there is energy, matter is present. So anything in the nature that you see around yourself is made up of some or the other chemical part, whether it is living or non-living. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ನಿರ್ಜೀವ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಂಥದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಓದಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಭಾಗಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಹಿಂದಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಆ 4 ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ನಾವು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಆಫ್ carbon compounds. This is one definition. Some books say organic chemistry is a branch of chemistry where we study about compounds obtained from living things. That is also partly true. Like we say, any chemical compound, if you obtain it from a living source, that was earlier known as organic compound. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ 2 ವಸ್ತುಗಳಿಟ್ಟು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಯಾವುದು ಇನ್ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ, ಯಾವ ಕಂಪೌಂಡು ಜೀವ ಇರುವ ವಸ್ತುವಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಿದ್ರು ಹಳೆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ. ನಿರ್ಜೀವ ವಸ್ತುಗಳಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದರೆ ಭೂಮಿಯಿಂದ ನೀರಿಂದ ತೆಗೆದ್ರಿ, ತೋಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣು ತೆಗೆದು ತೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದಾದರೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಇನ್ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಿದ್ರು. ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಿಂದ, ಪಶುಗಳಿಂದ, ಗಿಡ ಮರಗಳಿಂದ ಇವುಗಳಿಂದ ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಿದ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ಲೇಟರ್ ಆನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ there were many chemical compounds which were obtained from non-living sources, but they were organic in nature. Means they contained carbon in them. So for this reason, the definition of organic chemistry as study of compounds obtained from natural sources, this was removed. And it was then called study of carbon and its compounds. Now organic chemistry is study of carbon and its compounds. ಇಂಗಾಲ ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಗಾಲದ ಸಂಯುಕ್ತಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಓದುವ ಅಧ್ಯಯನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾವಯವ ರಸಾಯನಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಎಂದು ಕರೆಯುತ್ತಾರೆ. ದೆನ್ ನಾವು ಐ ಸೆಡ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್. ಐ ಸೆಡ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಅಲೋನ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೆಪರೇಟೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್. ಯು ನೇಮ್ ಎನಿ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸೇ ಸರ್ ಮೀಥೇನ್. ಯು ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಈಸ್? CH4. Sir, you said only carbon is separated. Now along with carbon, hydrogen also came. Yes, along with carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen, and these compounds, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, all these halogens, they too come under organic chemistry. They too come under organic chemistry. When I say ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್, ಇಂಗಾಲ ಮತ್ತು ಅದರ ಸಂಯುಕ್ತಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಬರೀ ಇಂಗಾಲ ಒಂದೇ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಇಂಗಾಲದ ಜೊತೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್, ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್, ಸಲ್ಫರ್, ಕ್ಲೋರಿನ್, ಬ್ರೋಮಿನ್, ಅಯೋಡಿನ್ ಇವುಗಳು ಇರುತ್ತವೆ. ಬಟ್ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಯಾರಿರ್ತಾರೆ? ಇಂಗಾಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಅದೇ ಪಾರ್ಟನ್ನು ಸಾವಯವ ರಸಾಯನಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಎಂದು ಕರೆಯುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಆಫ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್. I said carbon has got special property. That property is called catenation. It is the self-linking property of an element. It is for this one big major reason carbon is known to form a number of compounds, innumerable number of compounds whose study becomes difficult if combined with all these elements. For that reason, carbon is separated and studied as organic chemistry. Now, along with catenation, what other properties do carbon exist? Carbon and its compounds also show different other properties like isomerism. You might have studied in school also. Isomerism ಓದಿರ್ತೀರಾ. I said carbon's valency is unique 4. ಅನ್ಲೈಕ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಅದನ್ನು ಆ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯಲ್ಲೇ, ಈವನ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಲಿಕಾನ್, ಜರ್ಮೇನಿಯಮ್, ಟಿನ್, lead, etc. Even they too should be tetravalent, but the number of bonds carbon forms and the bonds the other members of the same family form, they are different. Even though their valency is 4, they will not utilize that. They'll not utilize that. Carbon alone is known to utilize this and form bonds. Therefore, carbon's compounds are many, so a separate branch is done. Now in this year, in the first year, to understand organic chemistry, some of the basics need to be strong. Like, you need to remember the atomic numbers, you need to remember the atomic masses, you need to remember the first part, valencies, or nowadays it is called oxidation states. You need to know how many bonds a given element can form. For that, you should closely follow the third chapter, that is classification of elements and periodicity in properties. When this chapter is dealt, they will teach you the valency of each group. For time being, I will tell you the first group's valency is 1, means it forms only one bond. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಗ್ರೂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂಧಗಳು? ಒಂದೇ ಬಂಧ. ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಒಂದೇ ಬಾಂಡ್, ಲಿಥಿಯಂ ಒಂದೇ ಬಾಂಡ್, ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಒಂದೇ ಬಾಂಡ್. ಇದನ್ನು ಪಕ್ಕ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. Then second group, 2 bonds, 2 valency. Then you come similarly here, 13th group. I'll not use this group because it is D block. They show variable valencies. ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಥರ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇಯರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ. 13th group ಬಿಗ್ ಬಂದಿರೆ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ವ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿ 3. 14th group 4. 14th ಗ್ರೂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಬಂದರು ಈಗ? ಕಾರ್ಬನ್. ಸೊ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು 14th group. 14th group ವ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿ ಈಸ್ 4. ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ 4, ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 2. ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂಧ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? 4. ಅತಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅಂದರೆ 2. ಸರಿ. 15th group 3, 16th group 2 ವ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿ, 17th group 1, 18th group 0 ವ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿ. ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರ ಜೊತೆನೂ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? ಇದು ಒಂದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿ ಆಫ್ ಈಚ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್. ವೆನ್ ಐ ಸೇ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿ ಆಫ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್, you should be knowing that valency of carbon is 4. Keep this fixed in mind. Carbon always forms 4 bonds. Somehow you should make 4 bonds. Then after valencies are known, you need to remember the naming of carbon and its compounds also. We call that as nomenclature. ನಾಮೆನ್ಕ್ಲೇಚರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೆಸರಿಡೋದು. ಒಂದು ಕಂಪೌಂಡನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಅದರದ್ದು ಹೆಸರಿಡೋದನ್ನ ನಾಮೆನ್ಕ್ಲೇಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. You have studied nomenclature is done in 2 ways. One, common naming system. The second is IUPAC system. You should be aware of IUPAC system. It is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. ಯಾರು ಸರಿ ಇವರು ಅಂತಂದರೆ IUPAC system is the organization which gives us names of any organic compound. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕಂಪೌಂಡಿಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ನೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ನೇಮ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. How to name this compound? You have studied in the school days also. It will again be done in organic chemistry. Which chapter? 12th chapter this year. ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಅದನ್ನು ಓದ್ತೀರಾ. Along with nomenclature, you should know the root words also. ಒಂದೇ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಏನು ರೂಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೇಕು? ಮೀಥ್. ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಅಂದರೆ CH4 ಅಂತೀರಾ. ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ is CH4, no? So methane contains only 1 carbon. 1 carbon means you should call that as meth. Okay. 2 carbons, eth. 3 carbons, prop. 4 carbons, bute. 5 carbons, pent. 6 carbons, hex. 7 carbons, hept. 8 carbons, oct. 9 carbons, non. 10 carbons, dec. If you remember numbers from meth to dec, from 1 carbon to 10 carbon, that will be more than enough. Then you have studied also based on bonds. ಬಂಧಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ 2 ಥರದ ಸಂಯುಕ್ತಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ, ಸ್ಯಾಚುರೇಟೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅನ್ಸ್ಯಾಚುರೇಟೆಡ್. 2 ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ನಡುವೆ ಒಂದೇ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಒಂದೇ ಬಂಧ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಯಾಚುರೇಟೆಡ್. If a carbon containing compound has, if an organic compound has single bond, ಒಂದೇ bond between 2 carbon atoms, then it is saturated compound. If it has multiple bonds, if 2 carbons between them have multiple bonds, double bond or triple bond, then we call such compounds as unsaturated compounds. What do we call them? We call them ಅನ್ಸ್ಯಾಚುರೇಟೆಡ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್. ಎರಡು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ನಡುವೆ ಒಂದೇ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಬಂತಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಸ್ಯಾಚುರೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಎರಡು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ನಡುವೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ರಿಪಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಅನ್ಸ್ಯಾಚುರೇಟೆಡ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಬಾಂಡೆಡ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ alkanes. You know this. Then double bonded compounds are called alkenes and triple bonded compounds are called alkynes. They are called alkynes. So single bonded compounds alkanes, double bonded compounds alkenes, triple bonded compounds alkynes. You should know this also. Then if a compound has got only straight chain or branched chain, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಸಿ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ಸಿ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ಸಿ ಈ ಥರ ಚೇನ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು, ದೆನ್ ಸಚ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಓಪನ್ ಚೇನ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಓಪನ್ ಚೇನ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್. ಅಂಡರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾಲ್ ದಮ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಲಿಫ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್. If the same chain is now closed, then we call them as closed chain compounds. ಅದೇ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಂಗ್ ಆದಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್ ಚೇನ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ರಿಂಗ್ ಚೇನ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಯು ಅಗೇನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅರೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್, ನಾನ್ ಅರೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್, ಹೆಟಿರೋಸೈಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್, ಹೋಮೋಸೈಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್, ಎಟ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ. The classification of all these compounds will be done in the forthcoming classes. But for time being, you should remember one valency of carbon, which is 4. Number of bonds formed by carbon, it is 4. Group valency of all the elements starting from hydrogen family till noble gases or 18th group elements. You should remember that. Then you should remember the naming of organic compounds. If you do not remember, fine. ನೆನಪಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ನಮಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಟು ಟೀಚ್. ವಿ ಶಾಲ್ ಡೀಲ್ ವಿತ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫೋರ್ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್. ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್, ದೆನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಅವರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೀಚ್ ಯು ಹೌ ಟು ನೇಮ್ ಎ ಗಿವನ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಅದರದ್ದು ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಬೇರೆ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು, ಬರೆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಹೆಸರು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಇಡಬೇಕು, ಇಷ್ಟಂತೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೀಚ್ ಯು ಹೌ ಟು ನೇಮ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್. ಟೈಮ್ ಬಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಫಾಲೋ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್, some organic chemistry, some basic principles and techniques. It is the 12th chapter. If you are able to understand, fine. Otherwise you go through your 10th syllabus chapter, carbon and its compounds. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ದು ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ NCERT ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯಿತು ಸರಿ, ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ 10th ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ದು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ನ ಓದ್ರಿ. ಆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಪುನಃ ಬನ್ನಿರಿ, ನಂದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದಿನ ಭಾಗ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.